everyone.
Hello.
We've been trying to figure out if it's our place to even say anything. But we decided that we can't stay silent because that's not helping anything.
Right.
So today we wanted to address the mass uprising of the people against police brutality and the death of, well, several people, but it all sparked off from George Floyd.
Just the ingrained racism that our country is still suffering from.
So I know personally, I have felt like it's not my place to try and steal the spotlight on this issue, but instead to lift up and promote Black voices.
With all of these protests and the way the police have responded to mostly peaceful protesting,
Yes.
with more violence and more brutality, it's very much highlighting the issue that everyone needs to say something.
Absolutely.
Everyone needs to stand up and together and say that we're not going to deal with this anymore.
Yes.
And, we could talk about the looting and everything, but that's nothing compared to the literal lives that were looted from the shores of Africa that started this whole thing, and the generations of looting after that.
Absolutely. And going back up, a bit further than that, when our ancestors came over and stole this land from the people who were already living here, and all of the atrocities that happened and continue to happen to Native Americans. And I know this is very much a movement that is surrounding Black lives and the injustices that they face on a daily basis. But I do think it is important to highlight that other people of color are also dealing with extremely similar situations of injustice. So this is a bit uncomfortable to talk about just because I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to make this about me. I don't want to I don't want to steal the spotlight, but we just wanted to make this video and really say that we stand with the movement. We stand with Black Lives Matter. We want to support in any way that we can. And what is happening is not right. The systemic racism is not okay, and we do not agree with that. And
we want to be supportive to the whole movement, to all of the people of color in our community, in the BookTube community,
yep.
and all around the world, really, and just anyone that's being marginalized.
Absolutely.
So right now we are on our way to a protest in Colombia.
We went to a protest a few days ago, and we're gonna try and make another one tonight. And we're trying to do what we can.
I think the most important thing we're doing is with those two back there and truly educating them about what's going on.
Not sheltering them and
just trying to have the whole, someone else said this, but the kumbaya, we're all the same, let's just not talk about it, race education that we got as children that really shielded us from what was actually going on. And it took us into our adulthood to actually realize the depth of the problem and the problems that still exist.
And this is definitely highlighting that we have unknowingly been part of the problem. We will continue to do better as we know better. We will do better. This just feels so uncomfortable, but it needs to be talked about.
Yeah, uncomfortable conversations need to happen. let uncomfortable topics of contention just sit and be silent in our marriage, in our relationships. It needs to be addressed and it needs to be fixed. On a more book-related note, it is Sunday, and we are trying to take part in the 7 on Sunday series, and it's 7 books by Black authors.
Yes.
And we, to our own shame, realized that
how few Black authors we have actually read. Yeah.
Right. And I was thinking on that subject, and Heidi and I, between each of us, have read hundreds of books.
Yes.
And we've never done it with any kind of... We would never pick our books on the race of the author. Like, that really wasn't...
It's never a project that we've, specifically... I mean, besides Asian Readathon, which...
Right.
Yeah.
And I found it a little disturbing that statistically, I feel like we should have read.
Right.
Statistically, with the amount of books we read, some of the authors should have been more people of color in general,
Absolutely.
Black authors. And I was just thinking on that topic of where is the issue there? Does it go back to the publishers? Does it go to the promoters?
Absolutely.
It was interesting. I don't know the answer to that, but I thought it was disturbingly interesting.
As we were going through our read, what we've read recently and over the last couple of years, we both noticed how many Asian authors that we just end up picking up. It's just statistically we have read a lot of Asian authors, and that's just happened, but it's not happening with Black authors.
Yeah.
And I did not realize that this was a problem. And so, I mean, it's like we were saying, once you know better, do better. And so we are.
So I know I'm going to be trying to read, or will be reading, more Black authors on purpose.
Yeah.
In the near future. And in perpetuity, I hope to.
Yeah, I fully plan on a majority of my reading will be Black authors for the rest of the year, and I want to, at the end of the year and when I'm setting goals for the next year's reading, definitely make it a priority to, I guess, just be more aware of that issue and purposely seek out Black authors, because apparently I'm not just stumbling upon them like I am with Asian authors. Like you said, I don't know where the problem is, but I can do better, and so I will.
If you see any other part that we're not doing,
yes,
let us know, and we will do better.
Yes.
We're here to listen because we're a part of this community and we care about this community.
Absolutely.
And if we're not doing something right, we want to be called out on it.
Right. All right, everyone. Keep up the momentum. Keep the focus on this issue. Don't let it